Okie dokie. I moved my PlayStation and laptop back to where they were, which was a nightmare. My HDMI cable is too short. Some things don't. What? Okay, what do somber stones do? Special armaments. So I assume like the kind of armament like I wish there was like a thing that would let you break down a bigger one into a smaller one. That'd be nice. Special armaments I'm guessing are like boss weapons or something. I gotta say this floor is very shiny. But yeah, my HDMI cable is way too short to the point where it's actually I have to have my PlayStation almost teetering on the edge of the table, and then even then it's pulling on the back of the side of grace. I keep hearing breathing, even when I was. Oh, let me check the. Okay, I got them in the right ears. Even when I was outside, I was hearing breathing. A little weird to have a side of grace that far, like that quickly into the. That's fine. That's fine. Wait a minute. If this is the Church of the Cuckoo, I thought you were talking about. I thought the guy said that it was like an academy or some shit. I don't know. I don't know how this shit works. Unless maybe there's multiple places that can be unlocked by a glintstone key. That's a possibility. So, I actually have $25 worth of points on my swag bucks, and a game that I completed a couple days ago that should be clearing, like that's pending and should be clearing pretty soon. Will give me another $40 worth of points. So that'd be enough to get a $50 Visa gift card. I had spent all the other points on either GameStop cards or PSN cards. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a Visa gift card, and I'm just going to use it for two things. I'm going to order off Amazon a nice HDMI cable, and then I'll check Amazon to see if I can find it there, but otherwise I'm going to go to the Astro Gamer site and order a replacement for my because a while back, about a year ago, I had I tripped on my headphone cord and disaster happened. Like, it was terrible. I actually lost a hard drive that, like, the headset was connected to my computer, to my laptop, and I didn't realize the cord was dangling. When I had the actual headset setting up on the table, and I had a hard drive connected to the laptop, so when I tripped on the cord, it yanked down the laptop, which yanked down the hard drive, and the hard drive busted. And I realized that I could probably, like, I still have it in a drawer because I know that, like, you can pay to, like, have, like, data salvaged from them, but I don't have money for that. But hi, Skellington, how strong are you? And you've got friends. Oh, you're not just a skeleton, you're a full-on zombino. Yeah. So, I don't think you're gonna get back up the way the skeletons do. But anyway, I thought I broke my headphones because, I could only hear sound out of one ear when I, would do it. But, uh, I noticed that one of the plugs was like really, really bent. So I'm gonna take a gamble and order. I've been meaning to do this for a while because just using little shitty earbuds. I don't like earbuds. I never have. And I've used like I'm using just cheap little Skull Candy ones, but I've used like expensive earbuds too, and I just do not like earbuds. I don't like the way they feel. They hurt my ears. They hurt my ear canals. I had a lot of ear infections as a kid. Maybe that's why. I've actually been, even though I got my new controller, I've been holding off on playing the DLCs for Doom Eternal, just because I want to be able to hear the music in my good headphones. Hey, can I? All right, never mind. Oh, there's more to this place. There's a lot more to this place. They take less damage when they're getting out of the ground. You'd think they take the same damage. I could like stomp their heads back into the fatherfuck is a Grace Mimic. Light shows the path, but without order. Last resort for those who have lost their way, or for use by those who believe that unrefined guidance will lead to truer encounters. Okay. So I guess it does like kind of like the same thing that the whatchamacallit, the like the things at the Grace sites do. Oh. You didn't as much like bite me as you just kind of shoved your head into my belly and made a splody happen out your head. I wonder if I can't backstab these guys. Oh my lordy. Lordy lordy. Oh. Oh, I see. Uh-oh. That's gonna be dangerous for the lizardy classes. He actually damages your FP as well. Drains some of it. Yikes. Alright. I see your doggy. I see a little silhouette of a doggy. I think one like kind of item that would be nice to have in these kind of games would be one that like you'd like have it be limited, like the amount that you can find, and then like it would be up to the player whether to risk it or not. But have an item that like points you towards the nearest item. Like so that like if you've like really done a good job clearing out an area, like say like it could be like you use it and it'll have like a little guiding light thingy that'll last a certain amount of time towards the nearest pick-upable item, like leaving out items that drop from enemies obviously, but like ones that like are placed on the map manually. And you don't know if what it's going to lead you to is any good. But like, and then it could have like a like once you pick up the item that it leads you to, the it disappears. Like the item that you use to do that disappears, and so you have a limited number that you can of those you can do. But like have it like be like I know that this is kind of antithetical to the Dark Souls design, but there like any game that lets you that kind of like really cemently lets you know when you've like explored everything there is to explore in an area, or when you've like fully completed an area, like picked up everything there is to pick up in an area. I like that. That helps my like obsession, compulsion, whatever you want to call it. I'm surprised. I mean, I'm not upset, but I am surprised that they don't have it where if you are empty on FP, it translates that to do extra HP damage. What was a game I played recently that did something not like that, but is like thinking about it's making me think. Oh, Neo 2. One thing I really liked, I had a dual sword lightning build on that I found really fun. Um, Ow! I feel like you're not. You know, you want to take cheap shots? I'll take cheap shots. All right. You know, two can play at this game. There we go. How do I... Can I... I cannot. Not in this area. So I think in order to get that, I'm going to have to jump down to where those guys were. And that's going to be... precarious. Alright. Yoink. Oh my god. 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 Hold on. Where there? Someone's two. I don't have enough FP. Oh, my maximum is fine, so. Summon two marionette soldiers, each equipped with a pair of bows. On the verge of falling apart, they are ill-disciplined and attack without warning. Like, I don't want to give Taurus yada yada, but I was hoping that like the summon would let me have like one of the sword ones and one of the bow ones. And these ones aren't even the ones I want. No, these ones aren't the one I feel like I'm a 16-year-old girl complaining that her brand new car isn't the right color. But these aren't the ones I want. These guys have bows. I want the ones with the cross. Like you saw when he started spazzing out, and I know I realized that I think the term spazzing out is offensive. In depending on where you are, because I think in some like I think in the UK, spastic is like an insult towards disabled people, but I never like until I started watching UK shows and stuff, I had never seen it used as an insult towards that, like with other types of insults like gay and retard and stuff. um, like like you know what that word means, and you can understand like why it's not necessarily a nice thing to say. But like, I had always heard spastic is like just generally describing someone who was kind of acting a little uncouth, who was kind of like coming unwound. So that actually does raise kind of an interesting now I don't get out much. Like I that I lived my entire 20s in a bubble, um and it was a good bubble, and I don't regret the bubble, but like there's a lot that I don't know about the world, which I get made fun of for, and I don't like that. I really don't fucking like that. I get made fun of for the fact that I've never been to a concert. And the worst was when someone invited me to go to a park with them to like on some trails, and I said I didn't have any money for admission, and they thought that was just the dumbest thing they'd ever heard, because I did not know that there are public parks that are free. I had even seen in movies people going to parks and having to pay admission, and I guess there are some that are free and then some that you pay admission, I guess. I don't know, but they made fun of me for not knowing that there are free public parks with like, and I don't mean like a little park, like a little like a field. Like I have a park like that near my house that I used to go to, where it's just like, oh, they got a little baseball field and some swing sets and shit. Like I mean like a full on like preserve with trees and stuff. Um, but anyway, that does raise, so like since I don't get out much, I could be very wrong about thinking that was like a kind of a UK only thing. I just only ever noticed that term used seriously to describe like a disabled person in UK television. So I and it begs a very interesting question about kind of the cultural, kind of like an almost reverse cultural appropriation thing, where uh like, is it okay like to take a, like, if something is offensive in your language or like in your culture, is it okay to then go to a culture where that's not offensive and demand that, like because there's a difference, there's definitely a difference between like um racial stereotypes in the US, and then the people from those countries saying, hey, maybe don't reinforce those fucking stereotypes. There's a difference between that, and then also um kind of the other way around, and just kind of shows how like full of shit and kind of self-centered a lot of Americans are, where if something is offensive to us but it's not offensive in other cultures, we'll actually kind of grandstand, and like I think one of the biggest examples I've ever seen is the swastika. You may not know this, but the swastika existed long before the Nazis co-opted it for their shit. And understandably, for a lot of people, that symbol will bring back bad memories, especially people that were involved in that. I don't know if there's any around anymore. I think I actually saw something that said like the last surviving like person from a concentration camp died recently, which is a sad thing in and of itself. That's definitely a tragic, like, I mean, obviously it makes sense. Like time works. Like time is a thing that exists, so it makes sense that would happen eventually. But it is kind of sad that part of history is like not been forgotten, obviously, but like any like firsthand recollection is kind of like passing into the ether. Um, but like there's other cultures that maybe weren't as affected by that, where that symbol still existed, and it's like, it's this, I've noticed that a lot, where there's like this weird thing where like if there's one thing like specifically in American history where we have like an association with something, we'll demand that all other cultures change their associations. And I actually remember that in the thing about the swastika is that the symbol, um I would never like utilize the symbol in any way in my, like, personally, just because I understand like it got co-opted in a way that kind of corrupted it, and just like me as an American using that symbol for any purpose whatsoever would just be shitty. But before the Nazis, decided to do their shit with it, it was a thing where depending on which way it faced, it denoted life or death, and it was kind of like a yin yang kind of thing. And there's cultures where that meaning still persists, where they're aware of that there was like, it's almost like only wars that affected the U.S., only like stuff that like we personally give a shit about, like we like because like if you dug into it enough, I'm sure you could find reverse examples where there's stuff that we use, like symbols we use, that is maybe offensive in other languages, and there's like kind of like a cutoff where there's some that will be like, people like PC people will be like, yeah, we should stop using that, but then there's also other times when they'll not. But I remember in one part of the Bleach manga that I followed, because I'm a big Bleach fan, even amongst all the fillers, and I'm one of the like 2 people that actually enjoyed the last arc, because shit actually fucking happens after fucking years and years of literally nothing fucking happening in that fucking manga. Shit actually fucking happens in the goddamn storyline, and then everyone threw a fucking hissy fit because some characters actually died. I'm sorry, but after years and years and years and years and years and years of every battle ending with someone having their fucking head decapitated or fucking chest impaled and shit, and then the next day they wake up with like, the number of times a character in that fucking manga wakes up with like a scene of their like body bandaged up. And it's like, I get that they have like special like soul society medicine and shit there. But like, I'm sorry, but there comes a point where like if no characters die like in a story, like there's obviously stories where it kind of goes kind of off the deep end in the other direction, like The Walking Dead, which I could go on a whole rant about that, where basically my whole rant about that would be that you can't really, like, it's not enjoyable because there's so much that affects whether a character dies on a show like that. There's how popular the character is, there's contracts, there's whether the actor wants to continue playing the character, whether they're still in contract. And so a lot of deaths happen in that show. Like, there's a lot of deaths that happen that really shouldn't have happened because either a character wasn't popular. And always, anyone ever noticed in that show how, like, you could so tell when a character was going to die? Because, like, some side character that it had, like, 3 lines for the fucking whole fucking series suddenly seems like they're going for a fucking Grammy Award. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, spoiler alert, a lot of people die at the end of Bleach. Like, for reals, no takes backsies, die. And a lot of people didn't like that, and I loved it because it actually brought some fucking finality and actually brought some fucking stakes to the proceedings. But there is a scene where the main character, he wields a lot of different types of swords throughout the series. And one of his swords actually has a swastika on it, on the hilt. And when people called him out for it, they're like, hey, that doesn't mean what you think it means. In our culture, it doesn't mean. And, like, that's like the PC crowd, like, I guess it all comes down to white people speaking on behalf of non-white people. Like, there's actually a little comic of like a white woman like holding her hand up to stop a black woman from talking, and like just kind of like bemoaning how ignorant and like ill-informed she is. And then she says, I, the white woman, shall speak on your behalf, for I know better. And like that is actually a big problem. Like, that is a really big problem. Like, whichever side of like the culture wars you stand on, at the end of the day, one thing you need to fucking accept is if you're not part of a particular group, I don't care what you've been through. I don't care how far down the oppression ladder you think you are. I don't care if you think you're punching up. If you're not part of a particular group, then your opinion on that particular group means jack shit. End of day. End fucking day. End of the fucking story. Your opinion doesn't mean shit. And you have the actual Japanese people, the fucking creator of the manga, people in Japan saying that, we are, in our culture, we kind of chose to preserve that symbol and kind of still see it in its original intent. But, and I think that almost shows like a weakness in America. Like that happened like with the OK symbol recently, where apparently like the alt-right co-opted that symbol to mean something. I've seen several articles and they still never actually explain what the fuck they've co-opted it to mean, which makes me think that even the people writing the articles don't have a fucking clue what they're talking about. It's just I guess that's a symbol, that's become a symbol to say I am part of this group, and like a code to, and it just shows how fucking weak and feeble and fucking pathetic people on the left are, which it sucks to say because I am on the left. But it shows how fucking weak, where what they should say is no, fuck off. That's not your symbol. That's just something that's a fucking hand signal that people have used for fucking millennia, but go fuck yourself. But no, instead the fucking liberals cowered down and said, yes, you can have the symbol. We'll never use it. We'll get mad at people who use it. It's okay. You can have it. And I'm sorry, but that just seems really fucking pathetic, especially when you consider the fact that it was a joke in the first place. Like, I've seen stuff, like, it could be fake, obviously. It could be fake, but I've seen, like I think from, like, 4chan or something, which I don't go to 4chan. I can't even remember the last time I've been there. But I've seen, like, some screenshots, which is why I think it could be fake, but where they were literally just saying, let's just pick something random and just start doing it and pretending that it's, like, an alt-right thing, and just watch as the liberals, like, freak out and start banning it, and it fucking worked. It's fucking pathetic. But, I'm gonna be honest. Be completely honest with you. I don't actually remember what caused me to go on this ramble. I find myself in rants, and I cannot for the life of me remember what caused it. I remember I was talking about these soldier ashes. And I was talking about that I didn't like the... Oh, yeah, I was talking about the word spastic. Oh, yeah. And, how, like, it's kind of... it doesn't operate like a two-way street. Because, like, in the UK... they'll get mad at you if you say that word. But then they'll say... I'm not going to say it because I don't like saying that word, but they'll say a certain word that to us denotes gay people, but to them is slang for a cigarette. And to this day, people will use it with a straight face and, like, not care. And like, I think that's how it should be, to be honest. Like, if a word means something in your culture, then in your culture, like, you should be able to use it in the way that it means in your culture. Someone not in your culture saying, well, that word means something else to us, so please stop using it because it's offensive to us. Well, we're not using it to you. We're not using it in your culture. We're not using it in your country. It's like, it's just it's a whole thing. So, I don't know. I really don't know. I admit that I'm an ill-informed, uneducated, random white dude, even though I'm not actually white. But I look white. I'm the world's fucking palest Native American. I really am. I've had people, when I tell them that I'm Native American, they just look at me and go, no, you're not. And I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks for clearing that up. I've had people say, and this really throws them off. Like, I love doing this. Like, they'll say, "You don't look Native American." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I left my feathers at home." That always throws them for a fucking loop. Anyway, whatever. I can't wait for the fucking the fucking YouTube algorithm that like scours videos for like uses of certain words is gonna have a fucking field day with this one. Because I said like all the words. There's actually a there was a comedian. I can't remember what comedian it was. I think it was Russell Peters. I think it was Russell Peters. I could be wrong about that. But I'm not going to try to recreate the bit. But he was in another country, and okay, so you know how in our language we have words like and like the words that they don't really mean anything. They're just kind of words that you kind of shit out as you're trying to think of what to say. In whatever country this person was, I can't remember. And like I said, I think it was Russell Peters that did this bit, but I could be wrong about that. In some country he was in, they have a little like non-word like that sounds somewhat like the N-word, and within their culture, like it doesn't mean that, and that's one thing that people don't seem to realize about language is that there's like a fuck ton of languages, and there's going to be crossover. There's going to be times when a completely innocuous word in one language sounds like a bad word in another language. But he was like in line at a deli, and the guy was like trying to like think about what he wanted to order, so he kept saying that word. And apparently there was actually a black guy present that just had this look on his face like, what the fuck? But in reality, it turns out that guy was literally just saying, I'd like a, and that makes me laugh. That makes me laugh. Anyway. Just in a random fucking graveyard, just rambling about shit that don't matter. You know what bothers me though? Is that I'm pretty sure I haven't gotten a single, really? Oh shit. At least these guys are easily stun locked. It annoys me that I haven't gotten a... Jesus. Oh, doggy. I haven't gotten a single, unless I missed it, one of those freebie flasks for defeating a group. And I feel like I've defeated a lot of what could be realistically construed as groups. I feel like even in the loosest definition of a group. And I noticed that my summon thing is popping up when I get up here. So there is I see you. Oh, it's a good thing that that was actually, I can't remember which game did that. I can't remember what the first game that uh, did it like that was. Like, because it used to be like in Demon Souls and I think the first Dark Souls, if you knocked the crystal lizard, crystal whatever, off a cliff, even if that knockoff was the killing blow, you couldn't get the item off of it. And then I think at some point I think it was Bloodborne. I could be wrong on that, but at some point they made it where if they fell off a cliff, it count like and died that. Like even if you didn't kill them, like even if they ran off a cliff and died that way, you got the item. Which, given the, I don't. And obviously, you don't know if it's like that in this game. I want to think it was like that in some of the previous games. I know it was like that in Demon Souls. I know for a fact it was like that in Demon Souls, but I'm not 100% sure if it was like that in some of the other games. Where, Oh. Oh. There's more. I feel like a fucking infomercial, but wait, there's more. And I know if I go in here, it's gonna be a battle. There's gonna be something bad in here. Because I don't see any grace. No grace. No grace for me. No grace. No grace for this man. Look, I feel like you're making an attempt at pretending that I don't notice the giant magic ball of lightning. I know you probably think your giant magic ball of lightning is well hidden, but it's not. Come on, just give me the boss health bar. Come on, just pop up the health bar. What the fuck are you, dude? Okay, let's try to bow you. What are you doing? Okay, that yanked me towards you. And it damaged me. So it yanks me towards you and it damages me. And if all the you're an elf. All right, why are you an elf? Was it completely unnecessary for him to be an elf? So, you have a move that not only damages me, not only yanks me towards you. Oh, this is one of the summoning pool is now functional. Yay. Fucking thanks, I guess. You have... I mean, the skeleton... The zombies are kind of slow, so... I don't imagine that being too much of a difficulty for the run back. But... You have a move that not only damages... Oh, the dogs. The dogs may actually pose a problem. Who all is following me? Some doggies. Okay. Alright, nothing else is following me. One doggy, but I think he gave up. So that's fine. That's fine. Alright, I actually have healing now. So I think I could maybe do this. Ooh. You cannot be backstabbed. Yeah, I need to remember that that looks like a punishable moment. Like when he slams it into the ground like that, that looks punishable. But it's not. Because... Wait, why would you destroy my lock-on? Hold on. We need to regroup here. Look, I don't like the fact that you can destroy my lock-on. Okay? It's just not a aspect to this that I'm happy with. At least that seems mandatory. That's okay, that's actually good. Him doing the swingy do after stabbing down actually seems mandatory for him, like to yank it out of the ground. And even though that can damage me, so I can't punish the first stab down, I can then... No, I cannot, because he can actually... Jesus, how many fucking hits do you have in that combo, sir? Nope, I needed a... Well, I'd like to thank you for pulling me over towards you so that I can much more easily access the item. That was kind of you. I think he realized that his days were numbered. He realized that he had lost. And he thought, you know what? You look tired. I don't want you, having to walk any more than you need to. Let me just give you a quick little Yankee Doodle do. I'll get you on over there. Okay, so here's the thing. I can ride this up. Does it? Ugh, God. No, I'm gonna give a bit of a rant here. Like, it's a mini rant. It's like a micro rant. I will never understand why games limit how far up and down the Y-axis you can look. It makes no sense at all. The only times that I can be like, okay, I see what you're doing there is games where you play as a woman and look up the skirt and stuff and whatever. That's literally the only time that I've been like, okay, I can see why you're not letting me look fully up there. But other than that, you could just dither my character. Just dither me. You dither everything else. You fucking dither everything else. If I was to walk up to a character and try to, look close at them, which, as I mentioned, I think I can't remember what fucking video I was talking about it in, but I actually do tend to do that, and I always worry that, like, if I'm doing it while, like, streaming or, like, while recording, it'll just look like I'm trying to perv out. But I actually get really close looks at characters because I like looking at clothing textures, because I love, like, you know, little details on clothing, and I feel like, unfortunately, um, we're at a point where a lot more could be, like, a lot more processing power could be applied to the clothing textures. A lot more, you know, could be done to that. But even in, like, AAA games, like when I played Last of Us 2, I at first thought that the clothing on that looked, you know, pretty nice, like, you know, like denim jackets and stuff would look. But if you, like, really get in nitty gritty, the fucking blurring of stuff really starts to show. And I think this is actually doing a somewhat good job, but, like, even on the design, like the snaky design going around my vest, it looks like that it looks like it hasn't even loaded. Like the texture looks like it hasn't loaded properly. Um and it always annoys me that I do like that, like, fur technology is getting better. I like that. But yeah, there have been the number of times that I've legitimately, for a completely legitimate reason, needed to look up and been limited how far I can fucking look up is annoying. Luckily, like, I'll put it like this: if it weren't for this battle here and this little thing existing, if this right here had been the end of this path, then I'd have been fucked in trying to find out what I wanted to find out, which was if those what those lead to kind of, like, dips over at the end. Now, because that's the obvious one to go up, but there was another one that I saw down yonder, and I saw, like, some people, there they are, praying at a shrine, and I wanted to, which, now that I see it from this angle, I think that's actually the same one, but at least I still can. I was actually able to get a backstab. I have yet to be able to actually backstab you guys until now. Chiron Knight's home. Chiron Knight's armor. Chiron Knight's... Chiron. They were... Hey, fellas. I assume you won't... Yep, you're praying. I assume you won't mind if I just skedaddle. Because I have no healing, so I'm just gonna do one of them good old... I knew there was a path that was going to lead back up onto here. Alright. Shoot, little doggy. Let's take a look at this. It's a lot heavier. It has a cape, which is nice, but it doesn't have any fur, so that's a downgrade. And honestly, it's kind of gaudy. I don't really like that. Alright, let's go ahead and head on wherever this is gonna lead. Are you really not gonna give me a side of grace? Go away. Okay, this is if I want to go back down. And I'm sure there's something down there worth getting. I need to look around and see if I can spot any Gracie sites. I know these guys are super weak, and I'm playing kind of cautiously compared to how strong they are, but I'm on half health and I got no healing, so, and I've yet to like I feel like maybe the game forgot about its own gameplay mechanics, because it introduced the whole killing like a group of people, and then they give you a thing, and then, oh thank God, oh thank the big lordy. Oh. I can level up. I need to Google. I know this kind of goes in the face of my no looking things up rule. Okay. Kind of goes in the face of my no looking things up. Hi. Kidoki. Oh, you brought a friend. A friend in need is a friend indeed. Any more friends? I see you. You're a friend. I see they still haven't really fixed the way lock-on works in these games. Just the way it, like, it breaks lock if you lose sight of someone. Which, in a way, that makes sense, because, like in a realistic situation, within a few seconds, you don't know if they're still standing where you thought they were. You know, I activate these when I think to see them, but I still creates a summon sign for cooperative multiplayer. Sends a co-op sign to summoning pools. Sends another or oneself home. Use to write messages. There's nothing like the beckoning bell that actually allows me to choose to damn it, god damn it, fucking hold on. Okay, I'm okay. There's nothing. I've got my table broke, and by my table broke, I haven't had a table in a long time. I had, okay, so you know those bedside tables that like you use for like it wheel, the bottom of it goes under the bed, and like it kind of creates a tray over your bed, and it's used, you put food on it. My wife had one of those because she was disabled, and so her insurance got her one. And I still had it after she passed away, and for years I used it as just a table, and it worked pretty well. But I would have like a TV sitting on it and shit like that, and they weren't really designed for that kind of weight to be put on it. So eventually it kind of crapped out on, like, it kind of, I noticed it kept leaning, and then eventually one day it collapsed. Um, and then I had like a coffee table sticking up on it, like leaning on its side, like a coffee table on its like long ways on its side sticking up. And then I had taken a wooden board and duct taped it to the coffee table, like wrapping it around under the coffee, like through the loop of the coffee table. And then that board would kind of like extend over, and I used that as a table. But the duct tape that I used would kind of wear off over time, and that would collapse. So finally, I ended up going to the Goodwill to see if I could find a cheap table, and I ended up getting like just as like a quick replacement, just something to like tide me over. I ended up for like $8 getting like an old school desk. And you know the old school desks have like the little cubby hole, like the little like slot where you just stick your books and shit. That's like the perfect, like, I didn't think I was gonna really use it for anything, but I've realized that like my foot fits perfectly in there, so I use it as a little footrest. But it's like just enough of a snug fit that like if I have my blanket wrapped around me, I can get it in there. But like if the blanket is like kind of doubled over or like bunched up any, then it won't fit. So sometimes I'll go to like put my foot up there to rest it, and it won't go in. I gotta kind of shove it in. Anyway, there doesn't seem to be any items like the beckoning bell in Bloodborne to actually start like to actually for me to like say, okay, I'm ready to do I'm ready to summon people. And I've yet to see any summon signs, so I'm starting to think that there may not actually be any NPC summons in this game. Which is fine, because even if there are, I don't like using them much. And I got my gank squad for that. But anyway, that's going to do it. In the next episode, I'm first going to go back, and I'm going to see what's down the elevator. And once we figure that out, we'll then explore more up there. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.